Hello, my Facebook friends. How are you? I hope you guys are having a fabulous week so far. I was having a fabulous week, and honestly, I almost contemplated not going live because I was going to take some time and spend it with my son before he went to his dad's. But something really touched my heart today that I wanted to share with you guys, and not always in such a good way, right? That it touches the heart. So I try to keep things real with you guys because part of my health journey is being genuine and real and not just showing you the good days, but also showing you some of the bad, right? And so I tell you guys all the time, like, allergy season is here, but that, you know, choosing to be happy, choosing to walk in your faith, choosing to just be a better version of yourself every day, that's something you have to choose to do every single day, right? So today I woke up and was having a fabulous day. And every time you start to do things to better your life, I tell you all the time that there's going to be moments where something comes along, AKA the enemy, right? Who wants to kind of stir you away from that path. And so today I had a little bit of that today. And so I was like, I'm not going to get on there. I'm not going to let people see my puffy face and everything going on. But then I thought, no, I think I do need to share this because I try, hi Debbie, honey. I try to create hope, inspiration for so many people. I try to share this amazing journey that I'm on. You know, I try to explain to people that God uses our circumstances to help others, you know, that things that happen to us can define or destroy us. And that's so much truth all around, right? But today I was having one of those days because things from our past, especially when we're doing something really big, when something's about to happen big and it's bubbling apart at the surface, right? Things from our past seem to find their way back in. And so I tell you guys all the time, because I'm combating every day, I'm not cured, I have to be super careful because I'm such an empath that I pick up on everybody's emotions. And, you know, sometimes I even have to remind myself that we can't be everything to everyone, right? Even though if that's you and you try to give me the hands raising emoji, right? We just want to save everyone. That's me, unfortunately. And, you know, it's hard because when you feel like you have been called to an amazing journey, or you know that there's people that you love and care about that you really want to just save everyone, right? Like the mama bear in me comes out and I just want to grab them all, right? And come on, and, you know, take them all in, my little chicks underneath my arms, I got you. But we can't always save everyone. And it's not our job to save everyone. But sometimes it's a fine lane for me because I want to save everyone, right? Because I know what it feels like to have a different life and to be going down the path. Hi, Rob. Hi, my friend. And so today, I got hit with something from the past that, of course, hey Dawn, that came forward. And it's like that salt in the wounds when it comes forward, because when you're waking up to choose every day that you want to be a different person, when you're waking up and making sacrifices because you're in a huge season of sacrifice because you know that God is using you in a powerful way, right? Where there isn't Netflixing and chilling and there isn't dating and there's not this and that and everything. I'm not telling everybody that's what they got to do, but that's part of my calling right now. It's just being really focused, laser focused on what's going on in my life, right? And so, you know, when you're going through this and something creeps up from the past, when you've spread yourself thin because you're trying to save everybody, right? Even the ones that don't want to save themselves, and you're like, come on, I can save you, right? You have to be really careful, especially when you have a chronic illness and you're teeter-tottering there. You got to be careful, right? So that was me. I tell you guys, we got to define boundaries and be good about it and make sure we're careful because it can, you know, it can suck us in there, especially if we're trying to help everyone and we don't understand why everybody doesn't want to help yourself, right? Why don't you want to have a better marriage? Why don't you want to have a better relationship with your kids? Why don't you want to have a better job, finances, life, right? Health. It's hard to understand why people don't want to, and there's all kinds of reasons why they don't, or they feel comfortable being in their old selves, right? So every day we have to choose that we want to be different. Well, today, when the visitor from the past came, right, it was almost like everything was going along. I was already running a little thin, and then I got slammed with it, and it was just flooded with emotions. And I remember two things coming to mind, right? Feeling good grief, this shit again? I mean, sorry guys, you know me, right? Seriously, again, I thought we were past this. But the other part of it is that even though I am strong in my faith and I'm strong in my walk and I know what I'm doing and I know what I've been called to, and I'm going through this whole unraveling of stepping up and vibing up to the next level of my life and making changes in my life, unfortunately letting God wipe out people that aren't supposed to be there anymore. And sometimes it's painful because I'm like, wait a minute, like I feel like I'm reaching for them, like I want that person still, but they're not meant to be on this journey with me. They're not meant to go with where I'm going, right? And so if you know what I'm talking about, give me a 5, like a high five. Like sometimes it's hard when you want to hold on to everybody and try to save everyone along the way. And so when this incident happened today, it was like the final straw, right? I couldn't help it, just tears. My son walks in, he's like, Mom, what's wrong? And I'm like, just things from the past sometimes that come up, when you're trying to always be better. And I said, the thing is that when things happen in our lives, when it's going really good and we're really aligning our path with God and we're doing what we're supposed to do, the enemy's going to come stronger at us because he doesn't want that, low-lying fruit. He wants what is going to bring the most attention and the loudness and bringing people back to finding where they're supposed to be aligned with. That's what he wants. And so I knew it was coming, but even I, on my, strongest point, didn't see it, and it came along and just slapped me across the face. And it doesn't help because, as many of you guys know, with my medical conditions, I don't make serotonin. So I have to be careful with this empath side of me and everything else that goes on and just feeling people's, just so much pain and loss and everything. And right. So, I was explaining to my son, I said, it's not that I want to not show you that tears are not okay, because there's things in our life that happen, things from our past that revisit us, things we thought were back in the rear view mirror and are like, shit, here it is again, right? And so no matter how hard you try, and as you are leveling up in your life, the strife comes a little stronger at you. And I said, but the thing is that I show you that tears are okay because it's part of the process, right? Whether it be grieving because you miss your family members, whether it be, grieving a relationship that wasn't healthy for you, whether it be grieving the person you used to be, right? A lot of people are having new chapters of the book started, right? Whether it be, their kids are graduating and they're leaving, marriage to, family members are going away, death, loss, relationships being severed, God removing people that we weren't quite ready yet for, right? These things happen. I know you feel my pain, sweetheart. I love you, Debbie. You know that. You my soul sister. And it gets you emotional. And so I wanted my son to see that. I said, it's okay to feel emotional at times in life when we feel like we can't figure out what's going on and why these things keep coming and revisiting us. I said, but the thing is what always happens when you see me upset? And, and that was one of the questions I asked him. And the second question I asked him is, I'm like, sometimes we just feel like we need a break, right? We feel like we're given so much and we're trying so hard and it's like doing all the right things, but sometimes it's just like, can we just get a break? And my son says without missing a beat, he's like, you're going to get the huge break here soon, Mom. And I was like, oh, and I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it because I'm like, that's awesome, babe. Of course we are, because we are aligning our path the way we're supposed to. The thing is that, and I was explaining, he's like, well, if things are going to get bad before they get good, then like, why are we doing this, right? Because that's straight from the kid's mouth, right? Some of us might ask ourselves that, like, why are we striving to be better if those days are going to get harder sometimes along the way? And it's because the end is what is going to be so beautiful that we can't even begin to fathom right now. I never imagined a life 2 years ago like this where I'd be even in this position to do what I'm doing, right? So in this moment, when I had this moment and I said, you know what, son, though, what happens every time if you see me get this way? What happens? What happens when I'm done? And he smiles and goes, you come back. And I said, you bet your sweet ass I come back. And that's how it is that we're all going to have days like that, where it's not rainbow and sunshines. And maybe it is because of something you can't control, whether it be because of you've got chronic illnesses or medical issues or mental health problems, right? And it just messes with you and you fluctuate around and you can't control it, even though you try. Maybe it's circumstances and variables out of your control where the past comes back and slaps you on the ass and reminds you like, hey, here I am, which is not, like I said, it's not by chance, because usually, especially if you feel like you're stepping into something and you're getting ready to explode into the next level of your life, pretty sure that that's the enemy coming by to see if he can find out with those little salt container, if he can shake something on some wounds to see if you're going to sting a little and you're going to want to run back to where you came from. And so I was reminded today, because when I felt that moment, many emotions, went through me and flooded me because I was mad, because I'm like, this is not me anymore. Like, why do I feel this way? This is, there was frustration, like, when is it going to ever end? then it came the beauty of realizing that this is all part of the process. Like when I went to prayer, I reached out. I have some amazing friends. Find yourself some amazing friends, like people who really know you, who vibe with you. Not the ones that just tell you like, yeah, that shit sucks and let's go get mad about it, right? But the ones who understand that you're gonna vent, you're gonna feel frustrated, and then if you're like me, you may fall to the ground and crumble and cry, but you're gonna pop back up in an explosion that everybody better step back away from, because you're gonna hit the next level, right? Say next level if that's you, or put a little blowing up emoji right in the comments, fire, whatever you want to do. But I just wanted to share that with you guys today, because I try to keep it real and raw, and I know there's some people who go on there and they come on their Facebook lives and they only show you the peaches and cream of their life and they don't share the rest of it, you know. And I want you guys to understand that everything we're going through is a journey. It's not just rainbow and sunshines. There's going to be days that have, you know, clouds and pain and frustration and get the F's out of here and why the F is this happening, you know, and things like that. But it's up to us to choose every single day to look at our glasses either half full or half empty. And even though I look all puffy-eyed right now, and I'm actually getting a little more emotional about watching how my son reacted to it, because I realize that my path every day that I choose, going to a grateful heart, him hearing me pray first thing in the morning, last thing I say, the words coming out of my mouth is giving gratefulness to God for everything again, no matter how crappy the day was in between, right? Knowing that there's more to go. He's watching. It's not just me, hey son, let's do this, and this is what you're supposed to be doing in life. He's watching firsthand, front row, you know, not from a perfect person, but from a person that, you know, grew him. And then he got to watch from the point of all the different stages, and that like she just keeps going, like the Energizer Bunny, right? If you know what I'm talking about, put bunny in the comments, right? Some days we just feel like we just have to keep going. And so I have mixed emotions for lots of reasons today, because I don't like when the past comes to visit. I do understand that it comes when we're vibing up to the next level, because I've changed so many lives at this point that I know that the enemy is sitting back there thinking, what can I do to throw this BZ off her stat? You know, like I don't want her on point. I want her to like detour. What can I do? So he starts digging through those old things, trying to see what they can do to distract you from that path, to get you off the point that you're supposed to be. And there's days you're going to cry and be like, really? You had to bring up that garbage? But what you have to also realize is that, yeah, it was that garbage, and then you're just gonna look at it and be like, yep, now it's back in the rearview mirror again, because that's where it belongs. And so I just wanted to share with you guys, maybe that touches you, maybe you felt it. If you did, give me the praying hands, right? Because life isn't always rainbow and sunshines. There's gonna be things that we remember that we don't want to remember. There's gonna be moments we cry and we feel angry, that we let ourselves feel vulnerable like that. There's gonna be times where we need to have a few people in our circle of trust that we can pick up the phone and say, hey, I need you to pray for me right now. I need you to understand, right? Or you maybe, as I was joking with a friend, or help me bury a body, right? So I was joking around because I'm not perfect. I tell people all the time. I was even telling a friend on the phone today, I said, I'll be the first to admit, like when things go crazy and it's my kids, it's like, hey God, it's me again. Just a heads up, I'm repenting right now because I'm about to make one of your children go right on the right path again because they ain't acting right. But, you know, I want to strive every day to be a little bit better and a little bit different. And I share this journey with you because I do have people that reach out and say, you know what, Heather, you may have thought it was just you, or you may have been embarrassed that you were feeling emotional that day, or whatever it was. But I want you to know it spoke to me in that moment, because I needed to hear that, because I was feeling kind of broken. I was feeling like, does this shit ever end, right? Maybe you're in a marriage and you're trying so hard because you don't want it to fail, but it's not being reciprocated, right? Maybe you're trying to be there for your kids, but they're being kids, right? And they're all over the place. Maybe you got a new diagnosis or an illness, or your health is just taking you down and you're like, is this shit gonna ever end, right? Maybe it's bills and finances and a job you don't hate. It can be so many things, right? But I promise you, if you choose every single day to choose to look at the glass half full, it will be crazy what changes in your life. You're still gonna have sad days. You're still gonna have days where you're like, I'm done, drop some F-bombs. I'm not getting out of my pajamas today. That's okay, because that's what it's about. You know, there's gonna be days that there's gonna be tears running down your face, because those tears represent the words that you can't tell God, but He knows that you're feeling. And that's okay, because again, you don't have anything to be shameful about. You don't have anything to be upset about. You don't have anything to feel like, oh, this is a setback. No, it's all part of the growth process. It's all about watering that seed of growth inside you. The tears, just think of it that way, is as you shed away parts of your life that are no longer, it's going to feel scary at times. It's going to feel different. You're going to wonder like, ooh, it's kind of comfortable back over there. But you can't grow in an area that you're sheltered and kept in the same spot. So anyways, guys, if that spoke to you, I love you, Debbie. You know I do. And you felt it, right? Again, give me some praying hands or heart emoji. And if you didn't, that's okay, because it may not be for you, right? It could be for someone else today, and that's totally fine. It could be just totally for me. But I tend to find that after I do these lives, I have somebody reach out to me and was like, I felt like you were talking to my soul. And I'm like, I don't know who I'm talking to half the time. Sometimes I'm just talking to myself, and sometimes I'm like, are those voices, my voices in there? Or but like I said, guys, if you did get anything from it, let me know. And if you didn't, just say hi, because I love to say hi to you guys. I actually think my gut is shrinking and I'm only in my second week of the 3-pill system. Oh, that's awesome, Dawn. I love that, right? Life-changing events. That's what makes it worth it. That's what makes my season of sacrifice worth it, because I know that what I'm doing is changing people's lives. And it's not just about making sure they're supplementing their health. It's making sure they're supplementing up here, right? Making sure that they know they're badasses, that they are the most precious jewels there are out there, and that when you have down days or you feel bad about something, that's being human, right? It doesn't matter how flipping amazing you are. You're still gonna have days of being human, and that's okay. As long as you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, look in the mirror, slap your ass if you have to, and remember that you are the biggest badass there is out there. And that's true. And if nobody's told you that today, let me be the first, all right? You guys take care. I hope that spoke to you guys, and if it did, awesome. And if it didn't, that's perfectly fine too. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.